So we had one injury. Chase has a knee, and I get more information once I get a chance to know what the docs are saying about it. When it comes to the game, a number of things I thought we did well, but, man, there are a number of things that we have to improve on. Defensively, it was good to get the 2 interceptions. I thought we did good as far as getting the shutout. What I really liked is the second and third team guys did a really good job of really closing this out. So I'm proud about that. Offensively, man, I thought Gino started really, really well, and that was by design to get our guys to see how efficient we can be and how we can move the ball. And I thought those guys did a really good job. I thought the one thing that we have to work on is our run game. And listen, I know this team's a team that like they pride themselves on stopping the run, but like that's not a pass for us. We got to get better in that aspect, and we will. So there's a number of things we have to improve on. We're going to look at this tape and listen. When I challenge the guys, they do a good job of responding. But we have to be able to improve in those areas. And when I'm talking about the run game and on defense, some of our coverage concepts as far as defending some of the throws they had that we I don't think we were good at. So looking forward to getting to next week. Next week's going to be a hard practice. I told the guys they're out of the hotel after this game, but we're still in camp mode. So we're still fighting. Any questions?
What did you like most about that first drive from Gino on the offense?
Very, very efficient. Man, I think he had 2 third-down completions within that. He threw to 5 different receivers within that drive. He looked very comfortable. That's exactly what we were looking for, So, but again, we still have some things we got to work on because our run game wasn't where it needs to be, So we're going to take a good hard look at that and make sure we clean that up.
Do you feel like you've seen enough from Gino now with this game, or would you consider playing him next week?
Well, that's not even a thought process right now. I want to make sure I look at this game and see exactly the things that we got to clean up so we can get right into practice and start to work on those things. And that's offense, defense, and special teams. So yeah, I don't want to make any decisions on that right now.
How about the starting defense? The first 2 series, and they played kind of half that third serees.
Yeah.
What did you like about what you saw from them?
This is the second week in a row where I thought our defense played fairly well, and they were stout. But again, there are some things as far as our coverage that we got to get better at, and I don't want to get too much into that. But I know for a fact that we got to get better in some of those things, and that's what training camp's for. You look at this tape. And you try to clean up some of those things. And that's one thing that I'm really proud of this coaching staff is, man, once we see an issue, man, we attack it head on. And we try to get it fixed right then and there. So that's what we do, But, again, we're right in camp mode, and we're on to the next one.
You feel good for Bailey getting home? I mean, you guys have seen what he's done in camp, right? For him to get one in a game, was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see that. Obviously, we know what he can do as far as a pass rusher. But I already see in my head there's a couple of things that he has to improve on that showed up in the game, and he will. He's very conscientious when it comes to that. He's a hard worker. Man, he's there early every day, working on his body and doing things like that. So I know for a fact that he's gonna improve on some of those mistakes that he has.
I know it's a pain tolerance thing with Gino on the ankle, but how much did you like him on that third down conversion where he uses his legs to get outside, and then he hits Garrett for the conversion?
Yeah, and listen, there's not a player, and I'm just talking about even from start of camp to now, there's not a player in this league that's not dealing with some type of pain. It's just part of the job. So I'm proud of all of our guys because I know they all hurting to some degree, So Gino did what I expected him to do. And I'm going to look at the tape and see if there's anything that we need to improve on. And I think the guys know that, when there is something that we need to improve on, that we're going to hit it head on, like I said before. So it was good to see how efficient he was. It was good to see him hit 5 different receivers. But, man, like I said, we're on to the next thing.
How much can Cade benefit from tonight? He had the 2-minute situation at the end.
Yeah.
And then also coming out after halftime and playing a little bit in the third.
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good offensively and defensively to get a chance to experience that in the preseason. I think last week we actually had a really good drive and actually ended up kicking a field goal. That was at the end of half, all right, to execute a 2-minute drive. And then, again, Cade had one. And you always want, quarterbacks coming from college to be able to, okay, I'm playing in the first half, now get a chance to come out after any type of adjustment and play in that second half. So that was by design for the most part. So, listen, he's going to grow any chance he's on the field. And that's for any of our young guys. Any chance on the field to get a chance to grow. And it's good for me, as a play call on defense, to get a chance to be able to make those calls in a 2-minute situation, also to get myself back going.
We've talked about the interceptions, I'm sure, ad nauseum in your mind from last season. How good was it to see 2 picks in this game?
Listen, our guys do a really good job of just focusing on the now and what they have to do. And that's what we do for the most part. Man, there's so much noise on the outside that that is really good to see our guys just focus on the now. And they're trained to do that. And it's hard sometimes, but, man, I'm really proud of how our guys respond to that and continue to just work.
Do you like the way the safety position is coming together? Obviously, Minka all over the place, but
yeah.
You had Belton out there, getting some reps early, and then Cisco just takes points off the board.
Listen, it's we've said it was a competition from the very beginning, and those guys know it. And man, it's always good when you have those guys fighting it out, guys making play after play, because we have to make tough decisions. And as a coach, I mean, you want to be in that position. Even though it's hard to make those decisions, you want to be in that position because that lets you know that the guys are playing well. So it was a really good pick by Cisco. Dane made a hell of a play on special teams, and we know that's where that's a strong point for him. So we're going to let it play out, and see what happens. But I'm just proud of those guys and how they're operating. And, again, at some point we've got to make a decision.
Eric's going to be the last one. I'm going to give you a 2-parter then. All right. A couple of new guys, like real new guys. Lynn and Bergen had a pretty good impact. We're getting here for a couple of days. What did they show you? And then is something going on with Kiko?
Kiko had a hamstring. Okay. And the thing is, he could have played, but it wasn't worth him. No different than how Gino was last week. So, but Kiko will be fine. But the new guys, I mean, Nate Land, he was with me in Detroit, so I know him really, really well. Came from William & Mary, I think. I think we got him as an undrafted free agent. And, man, listen, we liked him, in Detroit. So once we had the opportunity to get him back here, it was a no-brainer to get him in, let him compete and see how he operates. And he did a really good job. Berger, man, that's special, for him to come in and have the punt return duties, and heck, he can call a screen, and almost broke it. And the thing is, he is so confident. There was a number of things that Banjo, Kale, Jet was telling him. He was like, guys, I got it. I got it. So, and the thing is, he's been around, so where the confidence comes from. So those guys did a really good job, and looking forward to seeing how they progress with this team.